You're on, Taylor.
Oh, okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to, I guess, a special for the Nerd Unite as one. I'm here again hosting a show. It's been forever. I think I've been like 3 shows in a row. What the fuck? I know it's weird, guys. I told y'all I was making a comeback. I made a comeback this week in more ways than one. A little preview. The collector in me is coming back. Just a little preview for later. But I'm here with the OG crew for a little extra today, for a little extra small little episode. I'm here with Paul. Paulie, what's up? All righty. Paulie's glitching out or whatever. Chris, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, nerds around the world? Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be quite a tough touch subject to tackle for tonight's show. Up for it, paying tribute to those who we lost last year.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, while we wait for Paulie, what's up, buddy? Are you there?
Yeah, I am. Thank you. What's going on, everybody? It's hard to be here for this one, I'll admit.
Yeah, it's guys, 2016. Now it's technically last year. This was a really hard year. Not saying it was a bad year, but we had a lot of deaths this past year. We kind of want to touch on some of them, as many as we can. It's just gonna be a short little quick thing to kind of honor those that we lost. So let's give a quick rundown. Paul, give me a few of the deaths that really impacted you from this last year.
Oh, geez. I mean, I sort of had a feeling that this was going to be a rough year. When y'all remember back in January, in the span of like 8 days, we lost Alan Rickman, David Bowie, and Glenn Frey all in the span of like 8 days. Not to mention Celine Dion's husband and brother passed away around that time too. I mean, that was just a rough week. I mean, I'm a huge Eagles fan, so losing Glenn Frey at 69, that was rough. I mean, Alan Rickman, the guy's a legend.
Yeah,
that was rough. Gene Wilder passing, that's devastating. Obviously, lost Carrie Fisher a couple or last week, which was just breaking. But I think of all the deaths that really impacted me the most, that one I was just like the most stunned by, wasn't an entertainer, wasn't an actor, wasn't a singer. It was an athlete. It happened in September when Marlins pitcher Jose Fernandez lost his life in a boating accident. He was 24 years old. I was at work on lunch checking Facebook when I saw an article saying he had died, and I'm like, is this a joke? This has to be a joke. And then more of them popped up, and I realized, holy shit, it wasn't. I mean, that was shocking. I mean, he's only 24. I mean, that shouldn't happen to someone, especially with that kind of talent, That was rough. That was really rough.
Absolutely fine. I mean, I'm 100% with you. The one that impacted me the most was Carrie Fisher, but I'm going to get into that more later on when we get into our Star Wars review. Real quick, one that you didn't touch on, Paul, that I wanted to touch on. The thing that really hurts me the most when I see, and the reason that we talk about celebrities obviously is because everyone knows them, that they're in the everything. We've lost so many people obviously this year, normal people, that nobody hears about, all of them, rest in peace. But the one that kills me the most is when I feel like someone loses their life way too soon. When Anton Yelchin lost his life, Paulie, that killed me.
Right, he was
he was in his early 20s or mid 20s.
27.
27. So he's my age, Paulie. He's literally my age.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like with Paul Walker, who was even a little older. Like somebody who loses their life just way, way, way too soon. But and I'm not a huge Star Trek fan, but I enjoy the new movies. He played a great Chekhov. So when I heard about that, I wasn't devastated, but I was just like taken back, like, really, like, wow, and to learn that like a week later, the car that he was driving got recalled. it's just horrible news.
Mhm.
It's really, really tough.
Yep.
Chris, buddy, give me some of the deaths that impacted you. You know, the ones that kind of took you by surprise.
I mean, yeah, there was a great many people who we lost in the entertainment industry. And, I mean, not all of them whose work I'm familiar with. I'm really familiar with them by name, but there was a lot who just took me by surprise. Because we know with Al Rickman. I mean, because I love Die Hard and as much as the next person because he was a great screen villain, in that, and of course there's Galaxy Quest, who I will love. I just love the character. The servant that he exudes in that movie, just it's just, he's constantly like annoyed and aggravated the whole time. I just love that portrayal. And of course, he was Severus Snape in the Harry Potter movies. I mean,
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, and there was also three minor celebrities. Tony Burton, who was Duke in the Rocky movies. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
There was and also Nancy Reagan died this year. Yes. Gary Shanley died. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Also Eric Bosfield, who was the voice of Admiral Akbar in Return of the Jedi, and he came back for, as you mentioned, Anton Yelchin. That was like, that almost killed me, man. It's just like, I mean, he was definitely promising as a young talent. There was Kenny Baker, who was R2-D2 in the Star Wars movies. There was also Ron Glass, who was an actor I was familiar with, who was on the Joss Whedon show Firefly, even though I don't watch Growing Pains, Alan Thicke's death took me by surprise as well.
Yeah,
I mean, I was like, and he was also a theme show composer. He's like, he wrote TV themes. It's like, oh man, that was unexpected. Of course, what impacted me the most was Carrie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds, both mother and daughter passing within a day of each other. It's like very unusual, and
she
strange.
literally died of a broken heart, man. Like
pretty much, yeah.
Like that's crazy, man. I know she wasn't doing the greatest, but it's just like, oh, I mean, like I'll get into Carrie Fisher later, but one that neither of you mentioned. I wonder if you guys have any thoughts about Prince passing away.
Oh yeah,
one of the most influential entertainers, right up there with the Michael Jackson of recent memory. So do either of you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I was never a Prince fan. I've never really listened to any of his music, but I mean, I know that he was a legend in the business, and I mean, he was only 57. I mean, to lose someone that young too. I mean, it wasn't like in their 20s or anything, but I mean, 57. You should not be dying. 50's a new 40. People shouldn't be staying alive a lot longer enough. I mean, to lose him at that young an age, that was rough. It was definitely rough.
Yeah, there was a lot of deaths where people were in their 30s and 40s, and that's just way, way, way too young. If you're in your 60s and 70s, okay. I mean, but when you're not even in your 60s yet, that's a real tough loss, unfortunately. And I mean, losing as many people as we did, because I mean, I would check Facebook. It seemed like every couple of weeks, and we'd be losing somebody else. I'm just like, 2016 is enough. Like, you literally had to take Carrie Fisher from us, like a few days before you ended. Like, man, like it's so very frustrating. Very. I mean, death is a part of life, but there are these people. Now, again, no one that we lost this year meant as much to me, and I'm guessing you, Paulie, as when the legend, when Ron Williams passed. That was the celebrity death that almost killed me.
Yeah, but I mean that was 2 years ago. But it's still hard to know that he's gone.
Not that any of these impacted me as much as that, but still, there were some great people this year that we lost, unfortunately. And it just, the reason that we want to make the video is just, to, like kind of get it out there, to don't forget about these people, to celebrate them, to really, show love and to show that there was a high volume, unfortunately. Hoping for 2017, that's a low number. So.
Indeed. You know what we didn't bring up?
Yeah, well, go ahead.
We didn't bring up Muhammad Ali.
Oh, yeah.
The greatest.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And that's pretty sad, seeing as I live in Louisville, and he has a shrine in his graves over here. But it's Paul. I mean, the greatest fighter ever. Your thoughts, Paulie? Anything you want to say on Muhammad Ali?
Well, I mean, I don't care much for boxing, but I mean, anyone who knows sports, how do you not know Muhammad Ali?
Right.
I mean, he was the greatest.
Right.
What more can you say? He was the greatest.
I mean, he transcended boxing, Paul. There's those stars like a Babe Ruth, Paul, like a Muhammad Ali, like a Michael Jordan, like a Tom Brady. Even if you're not sports fans, Paul, you know who they are, because they just transcend sports. They are beyond the sport, and he was. So definitely a hard loss. Guys, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I do want to bring up is part of the reason why why Fernandez has impacted me the most. Aside from the fact that he was so young, but I mean, what happened the day after, and it was such a surreal moment. I mean, to have the Marlins play a game the day after he died. I mean, if you watch the beginning of the game, everybody was crying. And what was most stunning was the bottom of the first inning, and D. Gordon, their leadoff guy, comes up to bat, takes the first pitch from the right side of the plate. He's normally a lefty. He takes the pitch from the right hand side to honor Fernandez. He's actually wearing Fernandez's bat. And then he goes to bat from the left side. And apparently, because this guy does not hit a lot of home runs, Fernandez would actually tease him, saying, "Dude, you always hit such cheap home runs. I bet you could never go upper deck at all," because he's never done that, not even in batting practice. And he was like, "I'm just saving it for a big moment." He hits a moonshot upper deck of Marlins Park to give the Marlins the lead. And he's rounding the bases, and you just see the guy, he's breaking down. He is crying as he's rounding the bases. And when he gets back in the dugout, everybody is crying. They are devastated. That was such a surreal moment. And somehow the Marlins win the game. And after the game, everybody gathers around the mound, laying their hats down on the mound to honor Jose. So, I mean, and everyone in the park's chanting his name. So, I mean, I've seen that moment 12 times. I still get chills watching it. So, I mean, if regardless of whether or not you're a sports fan, if you watch that moment, you don't get chills, check your pulse, because there's something wrong with you. That was devastating.
It's really hard, but I mean, it's even harder, say, when you lose somebody from a sports team, probably, because you're with that team more than you're with your own family. Like, Jose Fernandez, in any sport, like baseball, spring training and workouts and stuff, you're with, you're with your team 9 months out of the year. You know what I'm saying? Yep. 8-9 months out of the year. I mean, and you just, you're with them more than you're with your own family. So it's like that had to be hard for his teammates, to learn about that. And then the very next day have to play a baseball game, go out there and focus, and play a game somehow. So, definitely something that, can't be, like overstated how impactful these can be. So, yeah. Colton, buddy, what's up?
Ken.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Doing all right. Has the show been going on for long?
We were just getting ready to wrap up, but if you want to go ahead and give your thoughts, but go ahead. I mean, give us some of the deaths that impacted you this year, the most impactful, and why.
Well, the most impactful for me really was, Carrie Fisher this week.
Yeah, he screws up a bit.
Female protagonist that most of us probably saw growing up, among other things. But, you know, I didn't really know a whole lot about Carrie Fisher's personal life while she was alive, but, like, reading all about it after she died and everything, it's like, and seeing how she was able to, you know, power through it and all, that's something to kind of admire in a way, among other things. And then the way that she just kind of died at the end, towards the end of 2016, in a year packed with a bunch of celebrity deaths, I just felt kind of cruel, I guess you could say. And then for her mom to die 24 hours after her, it's kind of, well, you know, kind of makes you want to just look towards all your loved ones and just hang on to them, spend as much time with them as long as you can, you know?
Indeed.
Like,
Absolutely.
definitely. Of course, Alan Rickman also got me also because I just didn't really expect it to happen, as it just came right the hell out of nowhere. But that you could say that for many of these deaths, it's also a sign that as we get older, yeah, people are gonna, you know, start kind of a representation that, you know, things are changing in our lives. People that we admired are slowly but surely gonna die at some point, and I guess something I never expected to think about, but well, makes you think more about life and death. Anton Yelchin definitely has me like thinking more about, you know, living your life, always live your life as it's kind of a sign that you should live your life live each day as it might be your last, because I mean, now he literally did die right the hell out of nowhere, and he was like, he was young, he had a promising life ahead of him, and then it's gone. So never take life for, like a sign there to don't take your life for granted, you know.
Absolutely. I mean, he had that Paul Walker effect though, Meekle. And I don't know if you felt that, like watching Star Trek Beyond in the theaters after he passed away. It was kind of like it was a bittersweet. I mean, because he was really good in the movie. Watching, like, man, he was 27 years old. He was my age, you know, and like, damn it. And it just, and how he died, and the circumstances after he died, with the car he was driving got recalled like a week later. Like,
yeah.
It just makes me want to like throw up a little bit, because it's just like, but you know, I mean, it happens, I guess. But I'm there with you. That was most surprising for me. So
I think the most bittersweet thing about, you know, seeing Anton Yelchin in Star Trek Beyond was the fact that it was like the best use of Chekhov in the entire series of the JJ verse, you know, and it's like it was probably, and Yelchin did a good job with what he had, and knowing that he won't be able to go any further with this series, with the cast members, seeing how, like, all the cast members broke down, finding out about how they reacted after his death and all that. It's kind of a life isn't fair sort of thing, you know.
Right. It's just it was weird to, like, it's like they knew that this was going to be, you know, that something was going to happen, because I never thought that Chekhov was going to have that big a role in the movie. Like, it just kind of surprised me how big a role he actually had, you know, and how big he was actually in the story. I mean, it was nice after, obviously, he passed away. It really, you know, showed his character, but, you know.
It's gonna be even heavier when we see, you know, Princess Leia in episode 8.
Oh man,
that's something that I'm gonna expand upon when we do Rogue One, a few minutes after we finish here. But yeah, it's just been a tough year, guys. Anything else that we want to throw in before we get out of here for this episode?
2017, just be kind, okay?
yes.
I mean, that's gonna happen. Just chill, okay?
Don't take so many people, all right?
Please, you know. So, all right, well, guys, I want to say thank you for everyone that joined me for this episode. Paulie, thank you.
Well, thank you. It was nice to, you know, pay tribute to everyone we lost. And if we didn't mention anyone, you know, we apologize. There's just so many that it's hard to remember them all.
Yeah, I actually went down the list the other night, and there was so many. It's hard to remember. These are just the ones that
we also lost Bowie. Yeah.
You know, yes. You know, just, you know, personally, these are the ones that really affect us. So, Chris, Thank you for joining, sir.
It's my pleasure. You know, it's like nice doing tribute to these icons. Yeah, it's been rough, but we had to pay tribute somehow to. And now they are amongst the stars now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Colton, thank you for hopping in late and giving us your thoughts, man.
Yeah, sorry I was late. I was eating and whatnot, but I'm glad I could come in. Glad I could come in. You know, give some brief thoughts and everything. Glad you guys were able to have the show and able to do as much as you could. I'll watch the episode once we're finished, see how it all was.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, we want to thank you for tuning in for this episode. But stay tuned because we're gonna be in a few minutes after this. We're gonna be hopping into Getting Happy. We know we have to get a little sad. We're never gonna get happy. We're gonna do a Rogue One discussion. I want to give my thoughts on Doctor Strange because I haven't been able to do that yet. Got a lot to say about that movie. And I have a collection update because the collector in me is returning. So I know Polly's excited for that. I'm excited to show you guys what I got in the last 2 days. I spent a lot of money, got a lot of cool stuff. So stay tuned for that, guys, and thank you for joining.
Peace.